Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another episode of Piofiore. I hope that you are all having a fantabulous day, no matter what time of day it is. But I'm super excited to see what comes next. I hope that you're all just as excited as I am. Like, ooh, ha! There was a lot of information that we had last time with the whole like stuff at the police station and everything, and oh my goodness gracious. All right, let's get into it. I responded to Leia's question and quickly went back to making more sweets. Well, that was odd. Right, there was that mystery man. Dante and Nicola returned before dusk without a word. Everyone seemed quite calm during dinner in comparison to this morning. I guess everything went well. Nicola told me that Domenico wanted to eat some cannoli I made. I'm happy to know he likes it so much, but something didn't feel right. I wonder when all the things involving the Lao Shu will end. Nicola was constantly scratching his head over various incidents that kept occurring. I doubt he had the time to spare for the Lao Shu. I wish I were home. I wanted to see Sister Sophia, Elena, and everyone else. Just thinking about how I was separated from them brought tears to my eyes. I'd better get to sleep. I'm sure I'll feel better tomorrow. I headed to the closet to get my nightgown when... Who is it?
遅くに悪いな。ニコラに頼まれて伝言を伝えに来たんだが。
From Nicola?
ああ、ちょっと長い話になるんで中に入れてくれるか。
Please do. So, what is this message? It just struck me, but he was the person who was looking inside the kitchen earlier. I guess he wanted to relay the message to me then? It was then I noticed my mistake. What the? In his hand was a knife.
悪いが死んでくれ。
I'm sorry, what? Dodging the swing of his knife, I fell over and narrowly avoided getting hit.
おとなしくしろ。そうすれば苦しめずに殺してやる。
No, stop! What is going on? What was happening? I thought I was living here under the family's watchful eye, but... Am I going to die? No! I ran yelling at the top of my lungs. The man then grabbed my arm. His knife shone eerily.
あんたに恨みはないが、俺にも家族がいるんだ。
Stop! I let out a scream and then...
そこまでだ。
A cold voice resonated inside my room. Nicola had his gun held point blank at the man's forehead.
君がラオ州と通じていることは前々から分かっていたんだ。そろそろ尻尾を出す頃だと思っていたよ。
While Nicola spoke, others ran into the room and grabbed the man by the arms.
それじゃ片付けようか。
Nicola gave his order to the men in the room. His eyes were disturbingly cold and serene. Nicola?
あ、ごめんね、怖がらせて。間に合ってよかったよ。後のことは何も心配いらないから、今夜はぐっすりお休み。
Wait, Nicola. As if he didn't hear me, Nicola turned around and left the room. The other men dragged the perpetrator and followed along.
話してくれ、頼む。
Soon, everyone was gone. I crumbled to the ground in disbelief. Well, what was that all about? I didn't know who that man was, but he tried to kill me. Why me? Nicola said something about the Lao Shu. He seemed to know what was going on. But he didn't tell me anything. Come to think of it.
あんたに恨みはないが、俺にも家族がいるんだ。
I forced myself to stand up. My legs were still shaking, but I need to follow them. I stopped in my tracks, hearing a yell resounding through the hallway. I followed Nicola and the others down into an underground area. What is this place? I held my breath and slowly made my way down. The man who attacked me was tied down to a chair. He was bleeding all over to the point that it made me cringe. Nicola and his men stood around the man in a circle. I noticed Dante sitting in a chair nearby. Oh, I mustered whatever strength I had in me to try and raise my voice.
君には部屋で休んでいろと言ったはずだけど。
I also asked you to wait. I looked straight at Nicola, trying desperately to fight off my fear.
それで、お前は何をしに来たんだ？この男は、ファミリーが保護している女を殺そうとした。だから俺たちは、組織として罰を与える。
He did attack me, but... Before I could finish, Dante intervened.
たとえ襲われたお前が許すと言っても、俺たちは決して許さない。ファミリーの掟を破った人間を許しては、組織の基盤が崩壊する。
He answered me bluntly without allowing me any more time to reason. I don't expect him to listen to me, but I need to do what I can. Please, please stop already. I understand that you need to punish him, but...
意味がわからないな。なぜこの男をかばう？お前の命を狙った男だろう。
When he attacked, he said that he needed to do it for his family. I'm sure he has a good reason. Dante and Nicola looked at each other.
事情か。理由があれば掟を破ってもいいと。マフィアはそんなぬるいものじゃない。
But His words were ruthless and cold. Maybe Nicola can do something? I looked at Nicola in the hopes that he might be more open to reasoning.
ニコラ、お前はどうすべきだと思う？
敵組織と通じファミリーが守るべき存在に手を出した。そんな男の末路を考えるまでもないよね。
Nicola brandished the knife that was used by the man. Nicola smiled and he placed the tip of the knife under the man's fingernail. Ooh, guys, look away! The man squirmed in fear as Nicola slipped the knife in without flinching. The tip of the knife slid into his flesh and his fingernail cracked. Nicola was still smiling, even while hearing the man's agonizing scream. His eyes were cold beyond belief.
痛いかな。でも仕方ないよね。
Nicola spoke gently while twisting the knife deeper into the man's finger. With a quick flip, Nicola drew the knife out, along with the man's fingernail. Nicola calmly looked at the screaming man.
裏切りは最低の行いだ。何をされても仕方がない。生かしはしないし、楽に死なせもしない。それを覚悟の上で、君は僕たちを裏切ったんだろ
？The screaming echoed against the walls. The smell of blood filled the dank air. Oh, Nicola, don't hate me. Stop, Nicola, please. Please stop already. Please let him go. I pleaded with Nicola to try and stop him, grabbing his arm. But then...
それ以上は。
Leo grabbed me from behind and pulled me away from Nicola. Nicola! What about his family? They'll be devastated if he dies. And if the Lao Shu is involved, his family is going to be in danger too. Please, you have to help. What I was saying was probably not... It wasn't gonna make any sense to Nicola. But I kept on pleading.
殺されかけたのは君なのに。そんなに彼を助けてあげたい？
Yes, so please.
そこまで言うなら仕方ない。僕も譲歩せざるを得ないね。
Nicola grinned and slowly tapped the belly of the knife against the man's ear. Nicola? With the bloodstained knife, Nicola sliced off the man's ear. His scream resounded throughout the cell.
じゃあこれ、ヤンに送っておいて。
Nicola calmly ordered his men.
ああ。こいつはどうする？始末するか？
彼は僕たちの知らない情報を持っている可能性があるからね。レオ、利用価値があるうちはここで死なない程度に面倒を見てあげてくれる？
わかりました。
The men suddenly moved upon hearing Nicola's orders. Just when the man's shackles were being removed, Dante mumbled,
甘いな。
"That was being too soft?" I trembled hearing his words amidst a permeating smell of blood in the air. What I just saw was something easy in their eyes. I couldn't believe what I heard. Then again, I'd been living here in peace and without a care. I'd forgotten how fearsome the Mafia was. What I saw tonight made it very clear, to the point that it froze my heart. Days passed since the punishment. I'd been passing the time aimlessly with a nervous, heavy feeling in my heart.
Oh, おはよう。勝手に使わせてもらってごめんね。
Oh, not at all. I just got here anyway. I made my way to the kitchen in the morning only to find Nicola there.
エスプレッソを入れていたんだ。眠気覚ましにね。君も飲む？
I'm fine.
甘い方が好きだったよね。
I suppose, but
じゃあカフェラテにしよう。砂糖とミルクを多めに入れて。
I thought I refused, but he was just going about preparing a cup for me. Nicola quickly prepared it and handed me the warm cup.
青い顔をしているよ。こういう時は温まった方がいい。はい、どうぞ。
Thank you. I hesitantly reached for the cup. I paused for a moment, then took a sip. It tastes good.
じゃあ僕はもう行くね。ボナジョルナータ。
Anchiate, Nicola. I held the cup with both hands as I watched Nicola leave. After seeing him depart the kitchen, I let out a huge sigh. I couldn't seem to approach Nicola like I did before, since that incident in the cell. He was the same, as if nothing happened, but I guess he noticed my awkwardness. He was distancing himself a bit. Even so, he can't seem to stop being nice to me. I thought more about it as I gazed at the cafe latte in my hand. Later in the evening, the salon was amazingly lively. Because last night...
いい知らせがある。
Dante spoke calmly to the men gathered in the salon, with an expression gentler than usual.
今日、ドミニクの釈放が決まった。ついに警察が折れた。数日中にも屋敷へ戻るはずだ。
Hearing Dante's news brought cheers and hurrahs from the men in the salon.
よかったですね、カポ。
ああ。
All the Falzone members cheered with joy. Thank goodness. Dante glanced at me. My heart jumped as what happened in the cell crossed my mind.
ニコラから聞いていると思うが、ドミニクはお前の作った観音炉が食べたいと言っていた。あいつのために用意してやってくれるか？
I immediately nodded in agreement. Of course I can.
頼む。
Everyone was talking happily about Domenico's return. My mind was now occupied with figuring out what kind of cannoli to prepare. The clock showed it was just past 3. Everyone was enjoying their idle time. When suddenly, Nicola entered the salon in a hurry. He doesn't look well.
ダンテ、悪い知らせだ。
Dante sensed something was wrong and nodded quietly with a stern look on his face.
今朝、留置場でドミニクが死んだ。殺されたらしい。
The whole salon went silent the moment his words came out.
このことでみんなにも知っておいてもらいたいことがある。ブルローネマフィアの人間が相次いで殺されているのは知っているよね。ドミニクの死ももしかしたらその件と何かつながりがあるんじゃないかと僕は思っている。今はまだ憶測の域を出ないけど、詳しいことが分かったら改めて知らせる。とにかく一人にならないように街に出るときは警戒して。
Nicola ended his announcement as Dante stood. They both walked out of the salon, most likely to have a meeting together. The men in the salon returned to their conversations with one another, but none of them seemed to believe what they just heard. Domenico. I couldn't fathom what happened either. I returned to my room and fell onto my bed. I faced imminent death here. The horrors back at the cell and Domenico's death came to mind. Fear and sorrow continued in succession and burdened me beyond what I could endure. I wish I could speak with Nicola like before. Ooh, side story.
やあオルロック、急に呼び出して悪いね。
いい、仕事だから。
助かるよ。ドミニクの件、何かない？
俺が知る限り、外部から襲撃されたという話はない。侵入者がいた形跡も。内部犯の線が濃い。警察も慎重に動いてる。
なるほどね。いい情報だ。
それと、前にニコラが知りたがってたことを調べておいた。峡谷のロズベルグ卿とラオ州の関係。金銭のやり取りがあるのは事実。
A high-ranking official within the state of the church. He's very popular among the people and is known as a man of virtue.
でも、彼女を狙ったのはラオ州の独断。ロズベルグ卿はそんな指示は出してない。おそらくラオ州は彼女を盾にしてロズベルグ卿と取引するか脅すつもりだったんだと思う。
ありがとうオルロック。君の情報はいつも面白い。助かるよ。じゃあまた何かあればいつもの連絡方法で。
I took my leave from Orlok and quickly made my way back to the manor. After all, Dante asked to speak with me today.
今戻ったよ。それで話って。
ファルツォーネは峡谷を通してブルローネにおける大きな影響力を持っていた。そうだな。
どうしたの急に。
教国はイタリア王国の司法にも圧力をかけている。
おかげでこの地は違い封建だけど、だからどうして。
その力は今や失われつつある。ドミニクは留置場の中で死んだ。公権力への干渉が弱くなっているのは明らかだ。ファルツォーネを守るためには彼女の存在が必要だ。
まさか。
ここに呼んだ。もうそろそろ来るはずだ。説明は俺からする。ニコラも同席してくれ。彼女もその方が安心するだろ
う。わかった。
It was a bit earlier than I expected, but the time to act finally arrived. Ooh. I am really curious as to what's about to happen. Okay, let's find out. Okay. Phew. I wish I could speak with Nicola like before. I want to hear his voice. But I squeezed the pillow in my arms and tried to turn a blind eye to reality. Dante called me to come into his office.
Hi.
Buongiorno, Dante. And Nicola, you're here too? I could tell they had something important to tell me from the tension in the air. So, you wanted to see me?
お前には何も知らせずに型をつけるつもりだったが。
ごめんね、ダンテ。そこまでだ。
Huh? Nicholas suddenly cradled me gently into his outreached arm. But it wasn't a simple embrace. I felt something cold and hard pressed to my forehead. It didn't take long for me to realize it was Nicola's gun.
何の真似だ、ニコラ。
僕はファルツォーネを裏切る。
What?
あ、君はおとなしくしていてね。暴れたら僕はためらわずに引き金を引く。もちろんダンテも同じだよ。指一本でも動かせば僕はこの子を撃つからね。
What is going on here? An image crossed my mind. An image of Nicola so easily punishing the man in the cell without any remorse. If I tried to fight him, he would probably pull the trigger without hesitation. I couldn't move a single muscle. Why is this happening? What is Nicola trying to do? I couldn't tell what he was planning or even fathom what was going on in his mind.
君が冷静で助かるよ。
I couldn't see his face, but I felt like he was smiling. Nicola kept the gun on me, then moved away from Dante with me alongside him.
次に目が覚めたとき、お互い生きていられるといいね。
Please, you have to. Before I could finish, he placed a cloth over my mouth. I could tell it was soaked with something, and I felt my mind going hazy. The haze overtook me and my legs started to give. I heard footsteps coming toward us. I can only assume the men here were coming to investigate what was happening. And that was all I could remember. What the frick? Oh. Oh. Ha. Oh ha ha. Oh. I am so sorry to do this to you guys, but we're gonna have to find out next time what is going on. Oh my goodness gracious. Did we just get kidnapped? Did Nicola just... Do you guys think... Okay. Sorry. Let me compose myself. Do you guys think that Nicola is up to something to, you know, to save the family, like trying to do something super sneaky? Or do you feel like he's actually doing a betrayal to try to save us? Or, you know, like what do you think is going on here, as I unintentionally but slightly intentionally leave you in a cliffhanger? So comment below, talk about how you feel about that whole scene. This episode was really intense, so process your feelings. We can talk about it in the comments. It's a time. So anyways, guys, I'm rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that big red button and a thumbs up if you don't mind. I would really appreciate it. And also don't forget to comment below how you feel. I'll see you guys the next time where we find out what the heck is going on. Alright, bye-bye.